Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is upset with us, TFI Global. In a latest public document, Trudeau government has complained that media outlets like TFI Global are destroying his reputation and the official narrative of his government. The report begins with labeling TFI Global and major Indian media houses as Modi aligned outlets. So, Trudeau thinks only Modi aligned media can defend India's interests so ferociously like we did. Nice, we accept it. Trudeau is rattled because Indian media punctured his narrative that implied role of Indian diplomats in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a radical Sikh separatist. Trudeau complained that TFI and other Indian media outlets wrongly posted that his administration was enabler of terror. Mr. Trudeau, not just Indian media but your own opposition also thinks the same. Let's bring in Maxime Bernier here. He is a top opposition figure in Canada and leads People's Party of Canada. He said on October 17th that Hardeep Singh Nijjar was a foreign and should long had been deported to India. Bernier said that Nijjar, who Trudeau calls a Canadian citizen, actually used fake documents to claim asylum in Canada several times starting in 1997. So if Trudeau chooses to stand strong with foreign, what is wrong with him being called out as enabler of terror? The Trudeau government then complained that Indian media enjoys massive reach on platforms like X, Facebook, and YouTube, and said it was worried that people in Canada might have been exposed to content posted by them. The document reads, Canada's media outlets have a small presence with few media entities breaking even 1 million subscribers. Canada's low subscriber numbers in comparison suggest Modi-aligned media create a distinct advantage in amplifying the negative narratives about Canada and its position on the killing of Nijjar. Oh, we thought Trudeau is a supporter of freedom of the press. Why is he so worried about Canadian people getting to consume news and content which is not published by Trudeau-aligned media? Well, Trudeau does not like to be fact-checked. He has already censored right-wing outlet called Rebel News in Canada. In fact, his administration even jailed Rebel News reporter David Menzies for just trying to approach and question Chrystia Freeland, the Deputy PM of Canada. Now, let's expose Trudeau's lies over Hardeep Singh Nijjar row one by one. Trudeau accuses Indian government of being behind the killing of Nijjar. The truth is that he himself has admitted that his government does not have any hard evidence against India. Secondly, Trudeau says India is not cooperating with Canada over the issue of Khalistan and is not addressing Ottawa's concerns. The truth is that Canada is sitting on at least 26 extradition requests raised by the government of India over the last decade. It is Trudeau who is not cooperating with New Delhi at all. Thirdly, he accuses Indian media of foreign interference and spreading misinformation, but on the other hand, journalists in Canada who report on Khalistan face death threats and attacks on daily basis. But on the other hand, journalists in Canada who report on Khalistan face death threats and attacks on daily basis. Media persons like Rishi Nagar, Sameer Kaushal, and Deepak Punj all have been attacked on Canadian soil. Dear Trudeau, if you choose to muzzle anti-Khalistan voices at home, somebody will have to fill the information gap. Trudeau has also accused India of targeting minority communities in Canada, but the truth is that the Khalistanis that he is in bed with regularly attacks Hindus in Canada, their places of worship, temples, and community events. The fact of the matter is that India Hoax is just a distraction campaign so that Trudeau can shift the limelight away from the elephant in the room, that is China. Trudeau went overboard in linking India to Nijjar's killing. On the other hand, he has been now accused of turning a blind eye towards China's alleged interference in Canada's domestic affairs. While testifying before the Foreign Interference Commission, a panel set up to investigate outside influence in Canada's 2 previous elections, Trudeau made a surprising statement. He downplayed China's efforts to influence Ottawa, casually saying that this kind of activity is part of what diplomats do. Canada's intelligence has already warned that China was secretly involved in trying to influence the outcomes of the previous 2 elections. which, by the way, Trudeau won. Earlier this year, the Foreign Interference Commission officially named China as the main country involved in interfering with Canadian affairs. A report from Canada's National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians, released in March, also identified both Russia and China as the top sources of foreign interference threats, with China being the more significant threat. Yet, days ahead of his appearance before the Foreign Interference Commission, Trudeau chose to go all guns blazing against India without even having any hard evidence suggesting the involvement of Indian diplomats in the killing of Nijjar. Canada's RCMP Commissioner Mike Duheme accused Indian diplomats of interfering in Canada's domestic processes. However, during his testimony, Trudeau admitted that his government did not have any hard evidence against India, only intel reports. Trudeau's handling of China's interference has sparked controversy at home. The Canadian opposition leader, Pierre Poilievre, has gone so far as to accuse China of helping Trudeau win the last two elections. This accusation, paired with the ongoing diplomatic tensions with India, has put Trudeau in a difficult position, with critics saying he is not doing enough to address China's influence. So, Trudeau's salvo at India is actually a cover fire for China. And to protect his masters in Beijing, he is now going after the Indian media. Before Trudeau, it was China's official mouthpiece, Global Times, that had directly targeted TFI Global for its vocal anti-China stance. China had attacked TFI Global 2 years back when we reported on China's food crisis and its toxic soil. We definitely ruffled some feathers there. Trudeau is now following China's lead in waging attacks on Indian media and TFI Global. Well, the apple does not fall far from the tree. Instead of counting the numbers of subscribers and followers of the Indian media, Trudeau should count the number of Khalistani terrorists residing safely on Canadian soil and hand them over to India.